Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Thousands packed the Energy Events Centre at the weekend for the 2014 Te Aroha Kapahaka Regional Competition. Annette Sykes announces she would stand for Waiariki seat, and Rotorua Boys High has a winning start in the Chiefs Cup. Thousands packed the Energy Events Centre at the weekend for the 2014 Te Aroha Kapahaka Regional Competition. 21 groups performed in the two-day event, with 6 teams chosen to represent the region at the national competition Te Matatini in Christchurch next year. Te Matarai e Orehu was named the overall winner, with Ngā Uri o Te Whanoa second and Tuhurangi Ngāti Wahia third. Taking the other 2 spots for Te Matatini next year are Kataore and Te Piki Kotuku o Rongomai. And local lawyer and Mana Party President Annette Sykes announced she would stand for the Waiariki seat at the weekend's Kapahaka competition. She ran for the same seat in 2011 election but lost to Māori Party co-leader Te Ururoa Flavel by 1,883 votes. Mana Party leader Hone Harawira says he's looking forward to Ms Sykes joining him in Parliament.
I'm particularly proud that Annette has agreed to stand. She never really got much of a shot last time because we were rushing around trying to save the whole of the world all at once, and we never gave enough time or energy or profile to Annette at the last election. So I'm glad that we're able to do this with as much advance warning as possible.
Annette Sykes later told listeners to Te Aroha FM that she wants to unite Māori members in Parliament.
We have to work together as a Māori cabinet, and the Labour Party and the Green Party Māori members, I challenge you to support us on that policy. Forget about our parties when it comes to fundamental issues about Māori well-being. Let us strategise together and set our own kaupapa frameworks so that we have our own policy dynamic that is not necessarily driven by a commitment to Pākehā politics and kawanatanga, but it's commitment by us as mokopuna of those outside Parliament striving for our independence as the Māori nation.
And you could certainly tell it's election year as political parties set up information tables at the regionals. Labour, the Māori Party and Mana Party were all there answering questions and promoting policies important to the Māori electorate. Police have confirmed that the man found dead in Rotorua last Monday has been identified as Alan Christopher John Tavio. The 22-year-old man moved to Rotorua late last year and was previously living in the Auckland region. He was positively identified on Thursday by a flatmate who saw a computerised image and photos of clothing released by police. Rotorua Detective Sergeant Tony Colby thanked the community for their help with the appeal. He said the sharing of updates, particularly across social media, has been overwhelming with messages of support received from across New Zealand and overseas. Mr Tovio's death is not being treated as suspicious and has been referred to the coroner. In sport tonight, Whakarewarewa have moved up a place on the Baywide Premier Rugby competition table with a win on Saturday against Rangauru 64-17. The win takes the local team to 4th. Meanwhile, Rotoruiti had a hard-fought battle against top-of-the-table Te Puke at Murray Salt Stadium. Rotoruiti losing closely in the end 12-9 and resulting in a drop from 3rd to 5th on the championship table, 1 place below Whakarewarewa. Rotorua Boys High School's first 15 have made a winning start to the Chiefs Cup Secondary Schools Rugby competition by beating Manorewa High School 31-10 on Saturday. The Chiefs competition includes top-ranked schools in counties Manukau, Waikato, Bay of Plenty, Thames Valley and King Country. And Rotorua Boys High hope to keep their winning record again this weekend when they go up against Cambridge High School. To your weather update now. And it looks like we're in for some cooler nights again. Tonight, the chance of a shower, light winds and an overnight low of 6. For tomorrow, Tuesday, a few showers developing in the afternoon. Northwesterlies, a high of 15 and a low of 7. And the outlook for Wednesday, a few showers, fine spells, fresh southwest develops, a high of 14 and a low of 5. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, variable 5 knots becoming northwest 10 knots for a time in the afternoon with waves less than half a metre and partly cloudy. Coming up in the program, we're with Tracy Compton at the Cancer Society to find out about the Men's Health Night. Alan visits Funnel Family Chiropractic to find out about their participation in Men's Health Night. And Barry Gruby tells us about the Coast Guard's May Day appeal.
Well, men's health is one of those subjects that's a little bit taboo with some men, and they don't really like talking about it. But next week there's a special men's health night that's out there to teach, especially men, about the different issues that we have with our health. And joining me today is Tracy Compton from the Cancer Society.
Hi,
Thanks
Alan.
for joining us today, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Now, men's health, like I said, it's taboo. People don't like talking about it. What do you think that is?
I think basically a lot of Kiwi guys have got the she'll be all right type attitude, and seem to be engrossed in day-to-day work and put their health issues at the bottom.
Do you think that's more maybe mature men as opposed to the younger men, the younger generation?
I think it's mixed.
It's
mixed. Yeah, I think basically if he's, hubby's got something wrong, goes to the doctors. Nah, should be all right.
Should be all right.
Yeah. So we're just trying
good night's
to
sleep,
eliminate that sort of scenario and just trying to put that information out there for people.
Cool. Well, so this is a bit of the solution to men's health and things that could go wrong. So tell us about this men's health night.
Yeah, we've tried to incorporate as many organisations that we think would be quite relative to guys. We're encouraging 18 upwards really to start thinking about their health and get into the habit of, if they've got a niggling doubt, go to the doctor. So we've included sort of older age type problems that could turn up, but also problems with younger guys that might start thinking. I mean, heart is a specific one that we're trying to get through, but obviously Cancer Society, we're out there trying to put the message out for guys to look after themselves. So
your Cancer Society's put this together. How long has it taken?
We started talking about it October, November, and we've just had a few meetings with the Ngongotau Lions, so they're helping us run the program. So they've been a great asset to us with their volunteers.
And looking at the poster there, you've got a number of different organisations from Rotorua on board.
Yes.
So do you want to run through those? Yeah,
sure. So we've got Bay Audiology, Araha Mai, Whanel Family Chiropractor, with the Heart Foundation, Kurawai Araha, Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, Tuatiora, Stroke Foundation, Foot Mechanics, Age Concern and Arthritis New Zealand.
So there's a good broad range,
good
isn't
broad
it? Yeah.
spectrum, yeah.
Now whereabouts is it and what night?
Yep, so doors open at 7 o'clock Wednesday the 14th of May, and it runs for a couple of hours. So each organisation will have an information table with volunteers or staff there to answer any questions.
And it's at the Rotorua Convention Centre, so everybody knows where that is.
Yep.
Now, is this a free evening or is there a charge?
Absolutely free. So we're encouraging young mums, grandmas to bring, granddad, sons, fathers, brothers. Yep. So it's usually a lot of the women that sort of say, come on, we'll go along. So we're encouraging anyone to go.
Yeah. How about things like alternative therapies? Are you going to have any like those sorts of practitioners?
No, not specifically. We just don't want to be confusing people out there. So we're just trying to make it a real good information evening with lots of pamphlets. And we've also got a GP and a nurse there, a male nurse, to answer any questions that someone might have specifically for the evening. And we'll have spot prizes as well.
Spot prizes?
Yes, that always wins. Free entry and spot prizes. That should get them through the door.
Yeah. Now, when you were organising this with the different organisations around town, were they quite happy to jump on board? Because this is really, it's actually quite big, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they were very happy. A small donation towards the cost of hiring the venue, and the rest is up to them. So, yeah, more than happy to come along and support a great venue, really, great night.
How many men are you expecting, or how many families?
Well, we've previously run 2 prostate cancer information evenings, which have run very well, but we thought with the broader spectrum of other businesses being involved, it's going to encourage a lot more people. So we're hoping for well over 200 people to attend the night. Yeah, more the merrier.
Yeah, of course. Now, what's your dreams or your hopes or expectations to holding a night like this? What do you want at the end of it?
That basically that you guys get out there and go to the doctors, look after yourselves, because you need to look after us ladies and families and kids and whānau. So if you guys can do this, it's one huge step in the right direction.
Yeah. What do you think about instead of worrying about the actual cure to the disease, how about doing things like preventative diet and exercise and healthy things like that?
Yeah, basically, from some of these organisations, there's sort of indications there that if people want to contact Bay Audiology, looking after your hearing and blood tests and just things like that, just getting to the doctors as soon as somebody's got any sort of query about anything, they can get referred, and it might not be anything, but just getting yourself checked.
Do you think maybe with some men and maybe some younger families, it's more of a cost, and that's why men don't go?
Yep, I agree. There is a cost to it, but in the long run, you've got to weigh that up, and especially if some families have got certain medical problems that are genetic, it's definitely worth following through and getting checked.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like we said at the start, Cancer Society are organising this. Is this something you're going to hold again in the future? Because you've already had 2, like you said.
We'd love to see this grow. Yeah. I've got a feeling that, you know, this is we were working with Leanne, our liaison nurse, and this is something that could really grow and be a yearly thing like the Women's Expo. We would like a Men's Expo.
Yeah, I think all men would like that.
Yeah.
Now, did they do this around the country as well?
Not as far as I'm aware. I think this is a first for Rotorua, definitely. So, yeah, good information evening to encourage lots of people to come out and just see what it's all about.
Awesome, Tracy. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. We'll see you down the night.
Absolutely. Well, we're carrying on with our story about the Men's Health Evening being held at the Rotorua Convention Centre this Wednesday, the 14th, about 7:30. And we're down at Whanau Family Chiropractor today, and I'm talking with John Whanau. Hi, John. Thanks for joining us today. Now, why did you decide to get involved in the men's health that's the evening that's being held at the Rotorua Convention Centre?
We thought it would be a great thing to be involved in because it's encouraging men to get out there and get things checked in their body. The spine, of course, is what the chiropractors deal with, and the nervous system, and we thought if we could get that message out to men that it's a good idea to get the spine and nervous system checked and make sure that that's going well, it'll help their overall health.
One of the things I talked about with Tracy is that a lot of men are a little bit apprehensive about going to chiropractors, going to doctors, you know, because they've got that attitude of she'll be right, she'll be right, mate. Do you think that is still quite prevalent here in New Zealand?
I think it probably is. Maybe with going to the doctors. I don't find it too much with people going to the chiropractor. You know, chiropractic is very gentle, and so there's easy, gentle ways of adjusting the spine. So we don't tend to find people, once they've been to the chiropractor, they don't tend to be nervous about it so much. Yeah.
Do you think it might be a bit of a stigma for men going to the doctor and things like that? Maybe not so much for you.
Yeah, a weakness thing maybe. Yeah, maybe a macho weaknessy type of routine. Maybe I won't go to the doctor because there's nothing wrong with me. Possibly that's there, but. You know, it's worthwhile getting past that little fear, if someone does have a fear, and just get out there and get checked, get everything checked, and you know, you look after the car and you look after your machinery, and so men get out there and get the spine checked and get the body checked as well.
How important do you think men's health is, specifically the spine health that you specialise in?
You know, the spine health is really important, and that's because the spine affects the nervous system. When the spine's out of line, the nervous system gets interfered with, and so you don't get good messages from the brain down out through the body and from the body back up to the brain. So if your spine's in line, you've got a good nerve supply getting through the body, and the body's better at healing itself and functions way better with the spine in line. Really underestimated, and often people don't understand just how important the spine is. So yeah, men, get their spines checked.
Now, this is the third year for the Men's Health Evening to be held. Have you been involved before?
Never before, no. We've never been asked before. Happy to be there this year, though. And I think it's really quite a worthwhile addition to their program. Getting the spine checked and the nervous system checked is a good thing. Maybe some other things, could be added to it as well that would be worthwhile.
Now, obviously, John, for someone to come and see you, they've obviously had an accident or maybe some sort of disease. How important do you think that is with regards to healthy alternative exercise and nutrition and healthy diets?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people go to the chiropractor not when they've had accidents or when they've injured themselves. Lots of people go to the chiropractor just to help stay well. And this is where we felt the fit with this evening next week, was it's encouraging people to do things that are all about staying well, you know, rather than waiting till you're crook to go and get things done. So yeah, prevention, maintenance and prevention, top of the list in terms of chiropractic care, and there's all sorts of healthy habits and lifestyle choices that people can make, which can really make a big difference to their health and to their lives and to their families' lives. So yeah, absolutely, exercise is a great thing, eating well is a great thing, getting great sleep, you know, choosing less stressful lifestyles. There's tons of things that are helpful to people, and probably the one thing that as chiropractors we can have a positive impact on there is we can help make sure the spine's in line so that the nervous system's working clearly. That way the body is better at healing itself and the body is functioning properly.
It's really interesting you say that, because you look around the room and you've got lots of photos of infants and babies, so obviously mums and dads are bringing in their kids before these kids have even had any exposure to an accident or any sort of disease.
Exactly. You know, just before this interview I've just checked for the first time a little baby. I've checked thousands of babies over the years, but I just checked a baby that's just 3 weeks old. Parents had their midwife say, get that baby's spine checked by the chiropractor. It was purely a preventative wellness checkup, not waiting till there's someone sick or there's a problem like that or an accident. So
it's about just in case.
Just in case, yeah. In fact, you know, making sure that all spines, not just the adult spines, not just the men's spines, but all the baby spines as well, getting checked from the word go, from early on, has a huge impact on a person's health. You know, you could have an unsettled baby, gets the spine checked and adjusted, and all of a sudden the baby's much happier, and that then flows through to the rest of the family being a lot happier as well. So yeah, it's the spine. We have the one spine right from when we're born till the day we die, and we want to make sure that spine's in line so that your nervous system's working correctly.
Now, John, just recently I interviewed an osteopath, and he said the biggest injury that he sees is lower backs in men. Do you find that here in your practice?
There's plenty of men who injure their lower backs for sure, but probably even more so there'd be men and people generally with neck problems. Sometimes what happens when you're sitting in front of a computer all day long, or you're on the iPhone, or you're on the the technology, and you're bent over in these funny positions, it's pretty tough on the neck. And so lots of people's necks, vertebrae in the necks, can be misaligned as well. So not just lower back, it could be anywhere in the spine.
Have you got one piece of advice for our viewers where they could look after their backs?
Absolutely, and that's a couple of pieces. One would be keep moving, keep the moving parts moving. Joints are made to move. So yes, keep up your exercise for sure. The other thing that I would suggest is get your spine checked on a regular wellness basis. And I would say see the chiropractor for that. Wellness care or preventative care is way better than being injured or coming off second best and ending up with problems later. So yeah, think prevention and wellness rather than sickness.
Yeah, good advice. Cheers, John. Appreciate your time. Well, we know what a wonderful job the Coast Guard does around our country, especially here in the Bay of Plenty, and now you've got an opportunity to help them out. And with me today is Barry Gruby from the Coast Guard. Thanks for joining us today, Barry.
Yeah, thanks, Alan.
Now, like I just said, you guys do an awesome job, and unfortunately there's been a number of deaths around the Bay of Plenty over the last year, but the public, especially here in Rotorua, have now got an opportunity to help you guys out.
Yeah, they can. What it is it's we've got an appeal through the whole of May. It's called May Day, and it's about people given an hour of their pay to help train a Coast Guard volunteer, and those training will last a lifetime. So once they go through all their training and learn how to rescue someone, it's valuable.
Yeah. How much are you looking to raise, Barry?
As much as we can, Ellen. Like the more the merrier. To put a volunteer, there's a lot of work goes into training volunteers in today's programs. It's not just a matter of jumping on a boat and going for a boat ride. There's search techniques. There's first aid. There's many things that you need to learn, and we put our trainees through all that. And unfortunately, it does cost money to put them through and teach them how to do things properly. So yeah.
Where did the idea come from to use these online fundraising schemes? Because there's a number of them online now, and lots of different organisations are using them. So where did the idea come from for you guys?
To be honest with you, it's the first time I've looked at Give a Little. I had a bit of a read of that page the other day, and great idea actually. I mean, there's quite a lot of organisations on there. Somebody in Coast Guard obviously organised that, and all the units have their own page that you can donate on, or just donate directly to New Zealand Coast Guard. It all goes to the same place. That's pretty much where it came from.
Yeah. Now, apart from raising the money for this one particular volunteer, do you need volunteers down here at the Coast Guard?
We need volunteers for every part of Coast Guard, not only just on the boat and being active volunteers, as we say. We need volunteers in administration, fundraising roles. Anybody that is interested in joining Coast Guard is to give us a call and come down, have a chat and see what they might be interested in doing. But the more the merrier.
How long does it take to train up a volunteer to become a Coast Guard?
To train a volunteer from a training stage takes about probably a year. There's about 12 modules to go through. As I was saying before, there's towing techniques, communications, observation, first aid, working with aircraft. We do all of that. A lot of our work is assisting police. Across the New Zealand board now, there's what they call a SIMS system, which is pretty much fire, police, everybody works on the same system, so we need to learn that as well.
That's a great idea,
isn't it? And that role in itself, is somebody could join Coast Guard in that role alone, where they're involved in setting up communications between Coast Guard, police, fire, whoever's on a rescue. So yeah, big roles.
Now, unfortunately, like I said at the start of the story, we've had a number of deaths in the Bay of Plenty, especially over the last 12 months. Have you guys been particularly busy here on Lake Rotorua?
We've been busy on Lake Rotorua. We had, in one instance, we had 5 call-outs in one day. Pretty much 3 of those were within about the same hour.
Is that unusual to have that many?
It is a little bit. It really stretched us out, but Rotorua Coast Guard did a fantastic job. The guys did a great job at on the lake here. Another one was at the same timing was Lake Rotorua. Unfortunately, that resulted in a death. All these deaths are avoidable. It's just people just taking a little bit more time and realising lakes aren't puddles, they're lakes, and to treat them as bodies of water that need to be respected.
Yeah. Do you think sometimes people might get a little bit blasé and think, oh, Lake Rotorua is not that deep and you can walk out for 100 metres?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that might be part
definitely.
of the attitude?
Yeah, definitely. I think they sort of see it as, again, it's a lake, to them it's a puddle. Don't need to take the precautions, and I mean, anybody that's a local will know that lake can carve up very rough, and all hell can break loose. And it's only, we're talking a matter of seconds, everything turns into a disaster, so be prepared.
Well, on that note, is there a couple of safety precautions that people definitely need to take or be aware of out in the lake?
Yeah, definitely, Alan. There would first thing is check the weather. Check your weather forecast, see what's going to happen throughout the day. Let someone know where you're going and how long you're going to be. And of course, the things like life jackets, communication, 2 points, maybe a VHF radio if possible. Which in Rotorua we have channel 81, which is your Coast Guard channel, and there's a chit-chat channel of 64. So, and a mobile phone, and keep it dry, So if something goes wrong, that you can communicate with someone and hopefully be rescued, save a life.
And definitely life jackets?
Definitely life jackets, yeah, that's definitely have those on board, yeah.
Cool. Now, before we go, Barry, obviously there might be someone at home who's wanting to volunteer and obviously to donate an hour of their pay. So is there a website or a number they can get hold of you? So, yeah, they can contact, there's a website, www.Rotorua Lakes Coast Guard, or they can contact us or contact me on 3477277. Leave me a message, talk to me. More than happy. Like I say, there's a role just about for anybody in Coast Guard, whether it be active or in administration. Boat drivers?
Well, boat drivers, yeah. Well, we call them skippers. Helmsmen, we call them.
Nice.
The skippers in Coast Guard now have a role where they sort of pretty much stand back and sort of direct everybody on the boat. So someone driving the boat's a helmsman. And
that sounds like
so
me.
You volunteering?
All right, Barry, appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Great work done there by volunteers in the Coast Guard. That was Alan Solomon talking to Coast Guard Coordinator Barry Gruby. And if you have any news that you'd like to share with the station, give us a call on 0734 88 984, or you can email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. And to watch the show again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team here at City News, for Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.